Hello, screeners. How you doing? It's me, the one AJ, Anthony Jordan.
It's me too, Nicolero. We're gonna have a good night, aren't we, AJ? We're gonna have a very good night, brother.
I hope so. I must admit, it's been one thing after another, and I was just like, okay. And I was like, I don't even have a shot glass, so I'm drinking from the cap today. It's gonna be a fun one.
Drinking from the cap.
Yeah.
Show me the size of this cap.
Oh, come on, bro. It's a bottle, bro. It's a shot.
Okay.
Oh, listen, it's a certified measure. Like,
I feel you should be taking 2 of those for every one shot I take.
You could try to peer pressure all you want. It ain't gonna happen. Not today. That's a cap, bro. That is more than 25 ml. Trust me on that.
Dunno, man. That's more than 25 ml.
What the fuck are you doing with that? That's up
to
you.
You know what? I just thought that I would enjoy a drink that I actually like to savor and absorb into my bloodstream before the nasty pure spirit comes along. I am partial to a bit of limoncello, from Italia. Even though I don't like the Italians, they make a good limoncello.
Yeah, I'm straight Scots today. It's whiskey the whole way through, so I can't play games. It's not like it's a Southern Comfort and I'll be like, okay, I could do a double. No, this is famous grouse. I am not committing suicide on camera.
No. Fuck that. I think
how you doing, bro? Recovered?
Dude, it was horrible what I had. Fucking okay, I won't take too long, but thank you Francis and a few other people from for messaging me on Twitter and whatnot, going, hope you get better. Really appreciate the love, guys. Thank you. But Jesus, it was horrible, dude. Some nasty viral infection. Essentially, my whole body tensed up, and I couldn't bend my legs. I couldn't ball up my hand. It's literally like Jim Carrey from fucking Liar Liar. It's like the claw. It's like I couldn't. Yeah, literally, it's the claw. I couldn't make a fist out of my hand. I couldn't get into my shoes because my toes were cramping. Bruh, was fucked up. Not cool.
Oh dear.
And I was like, how did I get this? And the wonderful NHS doctor's like, so rewarding to know my tax pound finds its way to you, you fuck shit.
Do you know what? As bad as it is, and I don't want, don't deviate too much, I prefer it than someone telling me, hey, if you just fill out that insurance form over there, that would be appreciated. So it has its ups, it has its downs.
Well, it's funny because there is an Uwe Boll movie, which is kind of related to that. I wonder if you saw it or not.
Maybe. Disclaimer. This is the one time in the history of Rushmores that if I fell asleep in the film, I woke up and I caught it where I did. I was in pain with some of these films. I am not.
Yes.
Joking.
What was the message I sent you a week ago?
I saw it today. Physically ill watching.
I attribute my illness to this motherfucker. The NHS are like, I don't know where you got this disease. I know, Uwe Boll.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime was good this time, wasn't it?
It was. Thank you, Gavin, for highlighting that, because I was in a weird downloading scenario, and it just wasn't my hard drive has more Uwe Boll than it should.
Yes,
it really shouldn't. It really shouldn't. That's
now.
Fine.
I'll save it for when we're talking about each movies, but good God Almighty, do you want to talk about grading movies on a fucking curve? You see some that are so bad, and then you see others that are what I just saw was so bad by comparison. You get the fucking gold handshake. Some of them I was like, you know what? There's a good movie in here somewhere. It's buried, but it's in here. Some of them are like, you are fucking trolling me.
You've gone from bad to terrible, right? You haven't gone from your number one is the worst.
Oh yes, my number one
Okay,
is.
cool. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yes, I've gone from worst to even worst. Like,
Yeah.
bro, it's frustrating because when he's not doing game IPs,
Thank you. It's what I was gonna say.
he's green, he's raw, and he lacks all fucking sensibility, nuance, and subtlety of a proper auteur. But he picks subject matters which are interesting. And I'm like, there's a movie in here somewhere.
I know the one you're talking about now. When you're talking about medical bill, yeah, I know the one you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
There's a movie in here somewhere.
Yeah.
You compare that to something like Falling Down, and it's like, okay, one should not compare them, but the premise is similar.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not dealing with subject matter which is just duh most of the time. But
so when you say that, sorry, we are going to put a small pin, guys, and we are going to go into the world of Uwe Boll very quickly. But I like the way that you compared it to Falling Down. You finally seen it?
no, I'm just going off of what you've.
Oh fuck! I was waiting for a little feedback. All right, cool, no problem. Okay. Yeah, that was my takeaway. It was when he's not doing video games, there are actual films in there. There's it's there. The direction is there. I mean, we're gonna preamble it because it's gonna be, put it this way. When I say that, is that you can see where it should be going. What I found weird more than anything is the reoccurring stars. Like R.I.P. Ray Liotta. How many times? I was like, the fuck are you doing back on screen with this guy?
Edward Furlong.
Just Edward Furlong, Jason Statham, Sir Ben Kingsley.
What the fuck? Like Ben Kingsley, I think was only in the one though, but Kristanna Loken is like his muse. She's in like all the movies.
Bro, I just looked at the stuff and I was like, what is going on? And it was that part that you said, like, video games are the worst. And I started to think about these video games which are, there's one that's not a video game that outdoes all of it. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but what really bugs me with this guy is, well, with the premise of how this works is, you have blockbuster games, right? How is it that they say, oh, here we go, we're going to give it to you? Like, after the first 3 films, you think everyone would have said, leave it alone. Yeah, here we are recurring. And I was just like, no.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Now, I from what I gathered on Twitter from people like Gavin, like Jen, like Francis, like Mixed Memorabilia, people aren't overly familiar with Uwe Boll. Should we introduce him? Should we give them a chance to get to know the type of character he is?
No, I'm happy to do this. Are we risking a demonetization? Because I don't, or like view and like any flags. I don't think he's worthy.
We are reacting. It is fair use trade. It's on YouTube. We can do what the fuck we want. Are you ready?
Bring it on.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
So here's Uwe Boll, and
can you hear it?
The last update. We have only 4 days to do with the Rampage campaign. And that was my 3rd campaign now, after Postal 2 failed, after Indiegogo for Rampage 3 failed, and now Kickstarter failed too. And
I wonder why!
My message is, fuck yourself. Because it's so fucking absurd what retarded amateur idiots collecting money on that absurd website. You know, we get approached by people like Kickstarter, do it, and you have hundreds, thousands of people contacting you to make a fast dime to say, I can push your campaign and I get 10% of whatever you collect. And it's all fucking bullshit, and I will never do it in my life again. For me, crowdfunding is absolutely
because they didn't fund you.
It looks like nobody gives a shit about Rampage 3, so maybe I shouldn't do it then. I have enough money to play.
You're lucky you got Rampage 2, mate.
And I was willing to do all of this as the campaigns to make any money. I want to do Rampage 3 because it is an important movie. But it looks like you're easier giving $600,000 if you make a movie about some retarded wizard in the forest or for another whatever Marvel Avengers bullshit dirt. So good.
Butt hurt. Go fuck yourself.
Fucking guy.
So if you've not
The
listened
Marvel
to a previous,
Avengers bullshit, AJ. The Marvel Avengers bullshit. Rampage is a really important movie, so fuck you for not crowdfunding me.
if you are familiar or unfamiliar with previous podcasts before we went into the world of visuals, that's where Wankstain officially made its debut on the movie Mount Rushmore, because that was my reaction to Uwe Boll when I heard that video all those years ago. Self-entitled, stuck up, and do you know what I felt when I watched an Uwe Boll movie? And I've watched many in these past 2 weeks.
He trolls us.
Well, there's trolling, but it's if you take The Room and those very weird Bollywood and those very weird Nigerian Nollywood movies, and just put them into a washing machine and spin it out, there's an Uwe Boll movie.
100%.
It's the weirdest things. It's those. The amount of times I had a reaction of The Room was ridiculous, because it's these cheap ass. Okay. Word, line, react. And I'm like, no. This is painful. This is painful.
This is actually painful. I have to say, do you know, we'll get to it, but the most painful of everyone, A-list, B-list, Z-list, and no entity actors who he's cast, Michael fucking Madsen.
Bro.
Oh my word. What was he doing?
Bro, I don't know.
Was he drunk? Was it like, speaking of drunk, was he actually drunk? Like,
I don't get it. Sometimes I say to myself, I'm like, but it's never that bad. Why are you there? Christian Slater, I'm like, what are you doing there? Tara Reid, I get it. That's deep,
ouch.
but
Tired at Tara.
No, but like Tara's done Sharknado. Do you know what I mean? Like American Pie was a long time ago. But like, what is going on? Each time I recognize an actor, oh, what's his face? Dominic Purcell. Fucking hell, he's another one. He's in there like swimwear, bro. He's deep in.
Billy Zane.
Oh, fuck that guy on a regular anyway. But,
well, we'll get to Billy. We'll get to Billy. Like, anyway, Billy Mount says, Nico and AJ, have you heard there's a documentary on him?
Yeah.
I have. Do you know what the documentary is called, AJ?
Uwe Boll, huh?
Fuck You All.
Something like that.
It's actually called Fuck You All. I need to see this documentary.
I was tempted to AJ Vision it to put it in here. And I was like, 10 was enough. 10 was enough. I couldn't bring myself to 11.
Gavin, man, is he like Velocipasta bad? Yeah.
Oh, I would watch Velocipasta.
No. Because
they are on the same level.
They're same level, but Uwe Boll miraculously has a budget to work with. So you're not legitimately seeing man in a fucking Amazon Raptor suit, but he has budget in his movies. That's what's crazy.
It's so weird. I don't get what happens. I don't get why actors keep returning to it. Like, I don't get, like, legit. I'm seeing films.
Money.
Yeah, but I want to know, like, yeah, I suppose so. But that just makes it even worse. Like, why do you keep investing in this guy? And, you know, it's the one time you can research films, guys, and no film. I don't believe there's a single film that was over like 30%. Like, you are guaranteed to see 1%.
No, there are 2 movies which scored 60%, and I was like, and those 2 movies, funnily enough, make up my bottom 2, because I was like, these are okay.
Now listen, if I'm going to be fair, where am I? My bottom 2. One kind of hit me in a way I didn't expect. My other one, I was like, I get where you're going. It was just, you needed maybe a tad more money. I didn't hate it. I was just like, I think if I was younger, I may have enjoyed it, but there was a lot of factors that just said no. It's bad. All right, guys, let's look. This is 15 minutes in.
Grading on a
we can only, but instead of like keep flickering around it, you're going to hear a lot of repetitiveness in this. Personally, there's no other way to explain this guy. There's going to be a lot of sipping, and we might get more and more offensive because, hey, fuck you, bro. Because, hey, fuck you all, fuck you right back. But before we start that off, yeah, I've gone Scottish. Maybe I should have got a Jameson's because belated happy St. Patrick's Day, belated happy birthday, Nico. And yeah, let's get this show on the road. But before we do, bro, would you like to tell everybody what the show is all about?
Basically, it's a top 10 show between two best friends from school. Here's how the show works. We get assigned a topic, we go our separate ways, we come back right here into the recording and deliver to you, the silver screen dudes, our film familia, our individual top 10s. This week, AJ will go first, delivering his bottom three. I will then deliver my bottom three. AJ will deliver his next two. I will deliver my next two. And then we will trade one apiece when we get to our top five. If at any time while we are running off our individual top 10 lists, one person has a movie in a higher position, that person will say
punt.
And we will punt and talk about that movie when we get to the higher position. Once we have both rounded off our individual top 10 lists, we will create, in the voice of Chandler being the movie, Mount Rushmore. These are the four quintessential diverse must-see movies of the genre, which this week is
top 10 vast Uwe Boll movies.
First, Uwe Boll! So we are going from the shit to the shittest.
I don't think they are must-see, but I appreciate you just stuck to the script.
Nine. They are must-see. They are must-see the fucking way the room is must-see, you know? You have to see these bullshit movies. Now, it's a drunk Rushmore, so because we can't exactly punt on this motherfucker because his filmography is not vast, and if it's vaster than 10 movies, we chose to not make it so. So we will most likely be punting quite a bit. The way it's going to work with the drinky drinks tonight, I have my little Sipsmith London Dry Gin right here. Very nice. Lovely label, by the way. Every single time one of us mentions a movie, shot. So let's get the shot ready.
Right. Before we go any further.
Yes. Talk to me.
What happens once we, the Silver Screen Dudes, have selected the four, dare we say, must-see movies of the genre? It gets even more challenging because, hey, you need to watch it this week. Because we, the Silver Screen Dudes, pass it over to you, the screeners. And what you do, you head on over to @MovieMT Rushmore, the official Twitter page of the Silver Screen Dudes. But more importantly, you head on over to the person that retweet, good old JT from We Love Movies, where you will see the four films, and then you get to crown El Capitan, El Numero Uno, the king of kings, the best of the best of the best, sir, with honors. And in the words of Highlander, in the end, there can only be, with a mixed Chandler being the one. So,
Ein!
Here's the question: do you have all the contenders? Did you do the battle, or did you not do the battle?
I did the battle.
Okay, cool. So,
I've got both part 3 and the battle. If you want,
yeah, I was going to say. So, we went on a bit of a mad LA trip, guys. So there were 3 levels of LA movies, and each one went into a final. So we're now going to go for part 3. What was our contenders, please, bro?
Our contenders were, and Billy Mount, not vodka or whiskey. I'm on the gin, my friend. AJ is on the whiskey, though. And yes, I did know that Uwe Boll has a restaurant, which actually nearly got a Michelin star, Bauhaus in Vancouver. Man did well. Bauhaus is now closed since the pandemic, unfortunately. But yeah, back to you, AJ. The 4 movies that made part 3 of our best movies in Los Angeles were The Disaster Artist, Collateral, Sunset Boulevard, and La La Land. This did not go the way I predicted.
La La Land at number 4?
No, sir. Come on, behave.
I'm basing off of what you just said. Sunset Boulevard at number 4.
No, sir.
Fucking hell. Disaster Artist.
Yes, Disaster Artist at number 4. Only got 7%. It's Coach Carter territory, that.
Deep.
It's not quite Carter, but it's not far.
But I mean, you're in with some big boys in this one. Collateral at number 3.
No, sir.
La La Land.
No, sir. Oh, at 3. Yes, La La Land. La La Land came in at 3. Hurt me that. 19%. I thought if there was ever a poll La La Land had a shot at, was this. No. Something stormed.
Okay, so Collateral at number 2.
No.
Oh, fuck. Nice.
Indeed.
Nice.
Oh, fuck, indeed. Sunset Boulevard came in at 2 with 27%. Bro, Collateral trounced this competition. 47%. Yo, people like this fucking movie.
Good. So now
fuck.
into the finals, when we're saying let them fight, we have Collateral.
We have Pulp Fiction.
Oh, God.
And we have Terminator 2.
Oh, Tom
Tis a
Cruise,
clash of the
Arnie,
Titans.
or Bruce Willis.
Now say me. Oh, I'm on form today. I've missed this shit.
This
The
is
AJ
tough.
says.
This is tough.
Eki patanga.
Oh, as much as it done it, I'm going to say Collateral at number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. After going from 47%, Collateral got pimp slapped in here, mate. 10%.
Oh,
Oof.
okay. So AJ favorite. Well, they both are now. T2 at number 2.
Yes. 37% for T2 in Pulp Fiction wrecked shot, mate. 53%. It was like not fair.
Yeah.
Andy made a very funny point, by the way. He said when we were doing Terminator and Terminator 2, he said the one time you should have used the. Stop calling it T1. It's the Terminator.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point. Yeah. Okay. Right. So congratulations to Pulp Fiction and Mr. Tarantino for owning that.
Mixed Memorabilia says, as a collector and investor, I think I should buy all his DVDs before they increase in value. And you know that. Do it.
I mean, if anything, the Silver Screen Dudes have just dedicated some time to his film, which has raised awareness, which could raise the stock. I'm not saying we are game changers, but hey, it means 5 more people have seen his film. So hey, that's an increase to good old Uwe.
Fucking A.
Right.
Fucking guy, go for it.
Right, in at number 10 as a film that I actually, dare I say, appreciated because I could see where he was going. Auschwitz.
Oh no, punt.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. In at number 9, this is the one I said. If I was younger, I think I would have. Oh, sorry. Let's acknowledge.
Oh yes, we have to drink there, don't we?
Shit me. This stuff is rough.
So why are you drinking it?
Because.
Can
Can I be honest with you? Cost of living crisis. It was the cheapest bottle in Tesco.
Fair enough, mate.
Oh, I don't mind grouse, but it needs to be chased. And I'm not breaking the rules of a drink.
Top up.
Right. Fuck me. No, this is not going to end well for me. I might have to go and get the white wine I've got in my fridge. Shit.
Oh,
that's burning the chest already.
Yes.
Doesn't help that unofficially me and my boy Jimmy stopped for 2 drinks before we came to
Your number 9.
Right, okay. Right. This film I would have enjoyed had I been a bit younger, I think. And I think it could have done well if marketed to kids. In the Name of the King.
Oh no, punt.
Oh, fucking hell. This is interesting.
Oh no, those are very bad for 2 very different reasons.
Oh, fuck, that's the laptop. Shit.
Don't get your laptop smashed.
No. I just, yeah.
No. I suppose I need to drink there too, don't I? Hey-o.
Sorry, give me a sec. Save the lappy. Right, okay.
It's a gin and tonic.
Right.
Gin and tonic.
I'm surprised that you hated those 2 because those are the 2 that I said, I'll give them a blast.
Nah, fuck that.
The one you said is maybe a bit of John Q, if you would. Maybe a bit of the old NHS versus insurance. Good old Dominic Purcell for me, the first time I saw him in the Uwe Boll movie. Assault.
There you go. That's my number 9. That's a good film. I actually say that. There's a good film in here. There is a good film in here.
Do you know what it is? Do you know this is the first time when I felt The Room vibes? And it's when him, Edward Furlong, and the 2 cops are in the, 2 security guards, 2 cops all in this diner. And the black cop, sorry, this is the only way I can break it down. They're trying to have those jokes and you're waiting for the punchline of the joke. And it's like, so a guy gets married. His wife says, if I die, will you marry again? Sure, I will. Will you let her sleep on my bed? Sure, I will. You're waiting for this major punchline to the joke. And it's like, and will you give her my golf sets? No, she's left-handed. And I was like, no, it's not that funny, guys. It's dead. But the whole thing behind it is Edward Furlong and Dominic Purcell are 2 security guards who are just doing their job, but like he gets screwed out of an insurance claim by some investors who are trying to make big gains. So he's lost money. He's trying to make more money to cure his wife from whatever illness that she's got, and now the money's not available. Q, he's assault on all the bankers. And as you said, it's got the elements of a good movie. It's the way it's delivered makes you feel bad. Like, I don't want to give the spoiler, but it's, you know, the we know you've done it, but we'll let you go. Like, you know, it was all these little bits that you're like, you could have just delivered it better. And that's the problem with it. Good film, poor delivery. Good concept, should I say.
Very good. I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, very good concept. Just a few questions quickly. The big Sam Broski says, did you know Uwe Boll actually knocked Michael Bay's lights out? If that's true, he's just gone up in my estimation so much. He's a rowdy motherfucker, you know, Uwe. You know, he challenged critics to a boxing match.
In a world where KSI and the rest of them have their own promotion, I'd be willing to see who actually responds and says
Bro,
yes to it.
5 of them took him up and he knocked the living fuck out of them. It's on Amazon. You have to pay for it, which I didn't want to do. So I did an AJ vision. Do you know what he called this little masterpiece? I have to give the man props for this because it actually made me laugh. Raging Boll. I gotta give him credit where it's due. Like, that's funny. Like, don't get me wrong. There's people who I've wanted to knock out for being a critic, just like John Miller here. What is the point? 5 viewers. To quote you, Boll, fuck you all.
Come again? Whoa. But you're one of them, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you're in or you're out. Like, it is what it is. Hold on. Is it that I said 5 extra viewers for an Uwe Boll film? If it's in that sense,
John, if that's the case, shit, man, I'm sorry. Shit. The whiskey, the gin's gone to my head already.
Yeah,
my bad.
Look, we're quite protective of this little baby that we have, all right? So it may not be a lot of viewers in the scope of YouTube, but we appreciate each and everybody that's in here. That's the thing.
Precious. It's lovely.
Oh, is that in response to Mixed Memorabilia's, like, I don't know. Anyway, look, if it's to
Francis
Uwe Boll,
says, is it an important movie, AJ?
none of them are important movies.
And yes, Billy, Edward fucking Furlong is in this film.
Can I be honest though? Edward Furlong looked like he ate John Connor in this film.
Behave.
I was shocked at
Man's recovering from bad drug addiction, bro. Leave him alone.
Yeah, as a big guy can acknowledge another big guy. I'm just saying. Yeah,
he got big. He swapped drugs for hamburgers.
Do you know the other bit I realized though as well, which was the part that allowed me to clock it was Edward Furlong more than anything else. No matter the size, no matter the age, Edward Furlong's voice has not changed.
No.
I was like, fuck me. Oh wow, you're a full-grown man with that voice still, bro. Like, unlucky.
Billy Mountain says, Nico, can you see Michael Bay in a boxing with his critics? God, I hope so, because I'd be there in a fucking heartbeat. You did what to Optimus? I'ma fuck you up, cunt head. Mixed Memorabilia says, AJ, when you recognize a good idea but poor delivery, this intrigues me because it made you think and me also. So now I need to watch it. Mixed Memorabilia, I'm telling you, it's AJ's number 8. It's my number 9. Assault on Wall Street has the makings of a good movie. There is a good kind of cautionary tale. Listen, Joker with Joaquin Phoenix deals with very, very similar subject matter. It's that little thing that pushes you over the edge and turns you from being a struggling everyman into a raging fucking lunatic. It's a good concept. And it's relatable. It's set during the 2008 economic fall, so you can believe really what's happening to this guy. And it's not an unrealistic set of events that happens to him. Like, where he goes is a bit bombastic, but what leads up to it, I'm like, okay, I have nothing to really critique here.
But this is the thing. It was a man wronged. And as I said, it starts off a bit John Q, leads into a bit of falling down, if you would. By the end of it, you're trying to convince me he's the Punisher. And it's like, shut the fuck up. Like, do you know what I mean?
To be honest, I quite dug that. I was like, when he was in that high rise at the end, I was like, please fuck him up. I was like, shoot this motherfucker. And then the way he twisted it so that he gets away with it, I was like, okay. Do you know what? I like that. Fuck yeah.
Fair enough.
Francis Lund, Assault on Wall Street, allegory of Uwe Boll's career. Lol.
I thought on La La Land, but we won't go there.
Yeah, that was 10-9-8, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my 10. I genuinely believe this to be his best movie. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I need to break it down. So my number 10 is Darfur.
I didn't. Oh, fuck's sake.
So, oh yeah, we have to drink, don't we? Hey, fuck you all.
This is not good.
This is not good. Hey, it's okay. 7 movies to go. Very good. So, Darfur, mate. So,
I didn't see this one actually.
no. So, this is again got Edward Furlong in it. Less chonk than he is in Assault on Wall Street. This has got Kristanna Loken actually performing quite admirably as an actress. And this movie does the unthinkable. You're not going to believe me when I say this. This movie does the unthinkable. It gets a good performance out of Billy Zane.
Fuck me sideways.
Fuck me sideways. It only took Uwe Boll to get a good performance. Uwe Boll did what James Cameron couldn't do.
You know why? 2 negatives make a positive.
But it's that. It is that. But now, okay, look, taking the banter out of this movie nearly brought me to tears. And you're
wow.
Wait, yeah. You're like, what the fuck? Now, this isn't necessarily testament to particularly epic filmmaking. The subject matter of this movie I found highly disturbing. I've noticed since I've become a dad, I've become a fucking sissy with some subject matter. Anything to do with violence to children, I can't handle anymore. I cannot do it. Like any violent imagery towards children, and I'm a wreck. I'm gone. And this movie Darfur it's about the first genocide of the 21st century. Think Hotel Rwanda on crack. So, a group of journalists go into Sudan where there's a conflict raging, and it's a conflict that this is all true. That's what I also really applauded this movie for, is that it's dealing with a real genocide. Now you think, oh, we'll come to Auschwitz, but Uwe Boll for me dealing with genocide based on Auschwitz, I'm like, you're a twat, and you don't have the sensibility to deal with something so subtle. Well, not subtle, so fragile, sorry, and deliver it in a way that's non-offensive. Miraculously, he pulls it off. I don't know who the fuck had him on a short leash in the studios, but this is a certified. Listen, some people I've read reviews on it and this is a testament to how good of a movie it is. It got me reading up on the genocide. It got me reading up on how true the shit was. Unfortunately, very true. It got me reading up on why the UN didn't get involved in the Sudan genocide. It got me reading up on what other people thought of this movie. You know, I did kind of a deep dive on this. I was like, this has left an impact on me. Movies are ultimately an experiential thing. If one can impact you so greatly that you're going to go and research other things, you have to kind of take a step back and go,
give it its respect.
Uwe Boll or not, this is clearly something. There's something here.
That's the thing. You got to give someone credit when they deserve credit.
Yeah. And a lot of people have said that this is kind of snuff. There are points where he goes a little bit in your face with the gore. And unfortunately, that's kind of a hallmark of Uwe Boll, isn't it? If I don't have a video game IP to go with, I hide behind the veil of extreme violence in my movies. That's kind of his shtick. It's part of what makes him controversial. He does go hyper violent in this, but bro, when you read about some of the shit that went down in Darfur, just like in Hotel Rwanda, you're like, yeah, this barely touches the surface. Like there are some genuine scenes that made me go, Jesus fuck. So the conflict in Darfur was the Janjaweed, who were the Sudanese Arabs, and the Darfuri, who were the black sect of Sudan. So it's literally a racial genocide. It's the Arabs massacring 3 million black Africans, thinking they don't belong in Sudan. So Billy Zane, Loken, Furlong, they're international journalists, and they go into this town. And what they don't know is, you know, they're interviewing. Again, he shows his lack of nuance here when it comes to filming, because he stays like too long focused on he wants to do this. I get what he was trying to do. He was doing these close-up shots of faces to kind of convey that we're looking into someone's soul when you look through their eyes. It's like, it's an old artistic trick. I get what you're trying to do. It's tried and tested, but it's effective. He does it for too long. It's like the shots on the eyes are all like, ugh, get on with it. Like you're lingering on the eye a bit too long here, bro. It's losing its power. But the reporters, the journalists go into this town to interview the locals, the Darfuri. And as they're leaving, they see this like smoke off in the distance. And like the guys who are leading the party get out and they like get the binoculars and that out. And they're like, that's the Janjaweed, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, they're probably coming to massacre the town we just left. So all the reporters like, we need to go back. Maybe our presence there will stop them from committing the massacre. Bro, if I tell you the tension is Argo level. Like,
if he could build that, I respect it.
The tension he builds in the build-up to the Janjaweed arriving in this town, honestly, I was like, bro, you are so close to being a legitimately certified movie here. Then he spends too long on the massacre. This is where he goes full Uwe Boll. And he doesn't shy away from the violence. Like, this is the scene that made me go, fuck, I don't know if I can keep watching. To the degree I actually had to watch it in parts. It was too extreme. They take a baby and they literally slam it down onto a spike. And it's like, not handling that well. Not handling that well. Really not. There's too much violence to kids in the massacre. There's a lot of rape that happens. But read up on the genocide, bro. This shit happened. It's bad.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say someone's extreme when it's being true to life. Like it's a very thin line. Do you have to show it? No, but then you're sensitizing the situation if you're not. So
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And unlike what he did in Auschwitz, I don't think there was any kind of trolling or like relishing in the gore. I thought he actually managed to handle this almost with subtlety. Almost. And for me, Darfur is a movie that is going to stay with me, both because of the subject matter, because of the research I put myself through on the back end of it, and because of the experience I had with it. I'm like, well, fuck, color me blind, because this is Uwe Boll, who's actually done a movie I can recommend.
Listen, this is... right. I see Gavin is under two different accounts. Gavin, I'm not sure. There's a strong chance that... yeah, there is a connection issue on both of us. Or, yeah, maybe it is Uwe Boll.
It's Boll. Blame Boll.
Exactly.
And Mixed Memorabilia, no more spoilers, I promise. And Billy Mount.
Always be careful with that, bro.
What did you think of Zane in Demon Knight and the Phantom? I thought he was Billy Zane. Shia LaBeouf versus Uwe Boll. Who wins? Asked Francis. Shia LaBeouf knocks him out.
Yeah, I would like to think so. Okay. Right.
Mixed Memorabilia says, guys, if you got the show title right, I'm intrigued by two films you've mentioned already. Yeah. It starts good. It gets bad.
You get it, and then it starts to progressively get worse. Right.
So that was my number 10. My 9, you don't have to shock, because my 9 was also Assault on Wall Street. My 8, again, this surprised me, dude. It's not great, but I'm like, there's something here. Rampage.
That's your number 8.
Yeah.
It's my number 7.
Fuck you all.
Rampage is such a difficult one. I wasn't sure. Do you know what it is? It's the delivery. In my life, I have never stopped and stared at alcohol the way I'm staring at this. It's not good.
Not enjoying it, eh?
That really burns. Really burns.
Next one, ready?
Right. Rampage was a difficult one. Rampage was the last film I saw from Uwe. And the slot I had for it, I was like, if it's not, because I knew what my 10s were, I knew what my 1 was, you know? And it was a matter of where this was in the shuffle of where it was, and I was like, if you're better, you go up. If you know, you go down, whatever. It stayed where it was, and it's because you've got a kid who's going on a rampage, but he's like the most self-entitled. Where like again, you've not seen it, but
he's a Gen Zer. He's a Gen Zer with a gun.
Yeah, if anyone's seen Falling Down, it starts to gradually build how his frustrations come on. This kid is, as you said, it's literally a Gen Z kid who's like, ugh. Like with the highest respect, and there's no shame at being a 23-year-old living with your parents. That's not the part. But you can see he's an actual wastrel. There is no form of aspiration or trying to do anything.
Not all there. He's not all there. I don't think they made that point very clear. But there were moments you could tell in like the video playbacks where you could tell in his interactions with other people he wasn't all there.
Yeah,
and
but
he clearly wasn't nurtured.
Understand? Here's a bit of a weird one. Have you watched the Netflix series You?
No.
Freaking awesome, by the way. Like, we discussed it with a load of friends. Potentially the best Netflix series that they've created. I haven't seen The Witcher, so I'm not going to get into it. But like, it's really good. And there's this part in. No, I can't really get into it. But basically, just in case anyone hasn't watched.
Better than Squid Game?
Oh, Squid Game is good. But You has gone to like 4 seasons, so it's
give it time.
Interesting balance, yeah. But Squid Game is a good call.
That's what I'm here for, bro.
But I'm not here. Do you know what? I don't think I'm going to enjoy Squid Games too. Anyway. Enough of the deviation. It's the influence of mass media. Like the same way, if we wanted to, we could. And I'm not saying we have this kind of potential influence. We could make people look at what Mixed Memorabilia said. Did we get the title wrong? We could encourage people to believe Uwe Boll is a masterpiece, a mastermind of film directing who's, undervalued by the rest of Hollywood and everything.
No, he's just a troll.
Yeah, but like you watch this film and you can see this guy who's just absorbing the propaganda that's being led to him, and it leads to his rampage. What I felt, and again, Mixed Memorabilia, please don't think this is a spoiler when I'm saying it, because it's not. You could have gone so much deeper with the argument with the macchiato guy, But it's like, give me back my money, come back. I feel there are ways that could show you why it starts to build your thing, your hatred for society, But I felt it just was like, they made him look like a waste man. Then he's just developed it. It's like, right, this is what I'm going to do.
I don't know if I agree with you here, bro. I think the movie picked up at a moment where we were already seeing his mind made up. Because you saw I get it. You saw when he left the coffee place, he was like, cool.
You knew what was coming based on the title of the name. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, how's he going to get back? But I just felt like everything was too basic of a reason. That's the problem with it, And then like there were some certain scenes that you could tell like Boll just needed to work on the direction a bit more. That was the problem. But again,
look, small town.
It's not a new story.
With mental health. Parents who are not very aware of what he's going through, nor seem to care much. Completely estranged by the societal status quo of modern society. Decides to go a bit crazy and embrace his Americana vibe of, I have the right to bear arms, even though that's not what the fucking amendment says, but that's not the point. And goes a bit crazy. The thing is, and here's the fucked up part, boo if you want, I'm right. This shit happens in America.
Bro, I get it. There's no denying it all. It's a lot easier to create a rampage in the US than it is anywhere else in the world. And I'm not saying that offensively, it's just the way the coins have dropped on this one. But
Daniel Radcliffe versus Uwe Boll, who wins? Uwe knocks Radcliffe's ass out.
Easily. Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe's a little bitch. Like, come on.
Yeah, but it's one of those that I felt like I've seen this story, but better. And I suppose that's where you come back to like your Falling Down analogy. Without even seeing Falling Down, you'll know it. It just felt too on the nose. And and again, you say it, he has budgets. But again, guys, let's stress this now. We're not making a video game. These films are actually interesting. Do you know what they feel like? They feel like Channel 5 movies in the
Yeah.
daytime, but with
Yeah.
a bit more gore. It's not the Channel 5 like ooh booby. It's more like the daytime ones that have got a really bad budget but are watchable if they could develop further. That's what an Uwe Boll film feels like to me when it's not a video game.
I can't help it whenever I think of Channel 5 porn. I can't help but think of that lyric from one of John Cena's songs. Yo, we tear up any crew, leave a motherfucker worn. Y'all are just soft like some Cinemax porn. John was the one, man. I'm telling you. Cena was a good wordsmith.
He was
Underrated rapper.
No, yeah, I can't hate on you for that. There was some great fun back in the days with the guy.
Also, Francis, Linda smacks Uwe Boll up.
Standard procedures. Don't
Will
ever
Ferrell
disrespect
versus Uwe Boll. Who wins? Uwe.
I actually think he would. I don't see Ferrell coming out on top of that. Even though the surname should imply he should be able to get that way, but no, he would just get fucked up.
Francis, Channel 5 is your equivalent of Cinemax.
Yeah. We had this weird time where they've stopped it now. But if you caught a Channel 5 10 o'clock movie,
Emmanuel.
Virtual high five, my bro.
You know about Emmanuel on a Friday night, brother.
They just it was the softest of softcore, but it was there. There was nipples without
Hey, you
paper.
be hiding in your bedroom hoping your mum doesn't come. It's like, booby!
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, yeah. Butt cheek.
Butt cheek!
Yeah.
Do I get the bush? No bush.
No.
No bush for you.
But hey, this is it's a generation that made us. That's all I'll say.
Kevin, man, like I'm with Francis. I don't know what you mean by Channel 5 movies.
Never. That never made it to Scotland, Gavin. I know exactly what you mean. Nah, not a chance. Right.
She wasn't Emmanuel in Scotland. It was probably something like Murren. I don't know. Murren. Orla. What's a good Scottish name?
I need to find this video. I need to find this video and probably post it. Do you know that the Harry Potter is written differently in Scotland? Quidditch isn't called Quidditch. There is.
Excuse me, what?
Yes, someone.
Is this like a Snatch Wars thing?
No, like it's officially written differently in.
By the way, guys, please comment down below. Does everyone know what Snatch Wars is? If you haven't, I'll change your life right now.
What is Quidditch called in Scotland? Bizzamball.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Bro, it's legitimately a thing. I need to try and find the video. It shows you what there are a load of different things. Like the 4 houses are, I think you still got Gryffindor and Slytherin. The other 2, Hufflepuff and I can't remember the last one.
You would have thought Hufflepuff. You would have thought Hufflepuff would be a damn good name for a Scottish house.
Oh,
Hufflepuff. Aye, that wee Slytherin. What are you looking up?
Hecklepeck and Hufflepuff is Hecklepeck and Ravenclaw is Corby Cluck. I swear to you, it's a thing.
What the fuck?
But anyway, we digress.
Weird shit, dude. Oh my word, Haggiston. What the hell? Francis Lalonde, you don't know about Snatch Wars?
So, I don't know if you're familiar with Snatch. We've mentioned.
Well, we've told Francis repeatedly to watch Snatch.
Yeah, this is it. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch it. Now, I would recommend you watch Snatch first, and then watch Snatch Wars. So basically, what they've done, they've taken the villain from Snatch, being Bricktop, and put his voice over Darth Vader in scenes of Star Wars. And so you've got Darth Vader doing some menacing shit or responding to words from stormtroopers or anything.
Shall I?
Come again?
Shall I? I'm not going to play all 8 minutes of it, but we can put a minute on here.
You can put one up. But I don't want to spoil who Bricktop is.
I got it if you want.
Yeah, but if he's not seen... Oh, screw it, there's one. Yeah, just give him 2.
Lord Vader. Lord Vader.
Put a lead on her, Turkish, before she gets bit. And you don't want to get bitten now, do you, sweetheart?
No.
Now fuck off.
Oh dear, Brick Raider. So good. It's so well edited. It's so good.
The Death Star plans are not in the main computer.
Are you taking the piss?
No transmissions. This is a consular ship. We're on a diplomatic mission.
You're not much good to me alive, are you? He's a useless shite, that boy. Punish him for me, Errol.
One more.
Darth Vader, only you could be so bold.
And who might you be, sweetheart?
I'm a member of the Imperial Senate on a diplomatic mission to Alderaan.
Pull your son out of my arsehole. I'm going to be watching you, and I don't care where you go. You can back off to Tibet. And I shall have men, nutters from Parkhurst, dressed in Yeti suits, up Everest, with meat cleavers, ready to chop your tarty fucking legs off.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you fucking should, you soppy tarts. Feed up to the pigs, Errol.
Oh my god.
Holding her is dangerous. Word of this gets out, it could generate sympathy for the rebellion in the Senate.
Oh, stop. You need to go and watch Snatch Wars.
Yeah.
It's the
That's
best thing ever.
Wars.
It's so fucking good. Whew.
That is actually
Okay,
pretty good.
Stay on target.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, so taking away the craziness of the rewording of stuff in Scotland and Snatch Wars, what were we? Rampage.
It's
Yeah,
all right.
Rampage. Yeah, decent film, just could do a better execution.
That was my 8, your 7, your 6.
That's correct, yeah. My number 6. Oh,
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm not fucking up. I'm not ready right now, but guess what? Suddenly, I am.
Yay! That's my number 7. This sucked.
Bro, it sucked so badly. This is the one film I kept walking in and out of the house. I went to cook, I went to clean, and I was like, is this shit still on? It had, like, honestly, it felt like it wanted to build tension. There was one moment that had a potential bit of tension when the guards are going downstairs looking for but it
Yeah.
didn't have any, like minor tension. You're
Come
talking
on.
about a group of the president's security group who have a mission to want to kill the president, and they take over this.
Well, no, they're assassins.
Is it assassins, bro? This is to
They're
tell you how much I
assassins.
paid attention to the film. And
They're assassins.
I realized
Secret Service, and they come to the town because the president's going to be there, and they want to take him out. Bro, if they fucking cared like so much about taking him out, why did we get a 15-minute monologue about the American fucking flag from Dominic Purcell?
bro, it was that.
What are you doing to me?
You've taken. I mean, you like. Let's be honest. We are in the absolute middle of bumblefuck nowhere, and this is where the president is. This is the best place to get hold of the president.
Why?
Fuck right.
Because there's a world-class lodge. Suck my dick.
It was the absolute definition of nothing happening. There's no way a film could be an hour and a half and still drag. Yet this film done it. It was ridiculously shit. Dominic Purcell. I mean, all of these hitmen dressed like the biggest knockoff B-Tech version of
Agent 47.
the Wish Foundation of Agent 47. It was Agent 47 from Wish, all four of them in the same suit, the same red tie, and the way he used the fucking piano wire to kill the guy off in the beginning. I was like, and do you know what it is with Purcell that he does? He done it as Captain Cold in The Flash. It's when he tries to put on this grumpy face to look menacing, and he just looks like the world's biggest twat.
He looks like he wants to shit.
Literally.
He looks like he looks like he needs some fiber in his diet.
Yeah.
Like, have a bran muffin in the morning, bro. It'll loosen the bowels. Fucking hell.
It's like you don't look menacing. You look like the biggest dick. Go in, and I'm like this. And then you've got Ray Liotta as this cop who's meant to be friends.
War
with
hero.
family
War hero.
in the house. And yeah, he's a war hero, so they can kind of
off.
relate to him. And no one gave a fuck. Like, bro, the whole time it took for you to get, and that reaction he had, and he punched this person. It was like, you done fucked up now, hero. It was like, shut the fuck up. Like, nothing had
How did he
any
fuck up?
weight or value.
You didn't listen to what he did. He overstepped the mark. Your ass is in prison. You fucked up. What is it? Bro, even the fucking opening when they're playing poker, it's like, you want to insert meme here. That escalated. It's like, why did he?
What?
What was the knockout for? Or the dumb fuck kid called Pidge. What's that short for? Pigeon? What is he? And he's throwing fucking smoke firecrackers on people's cars. Like, knock the little cunt out.
Yeah.
You know how at the top of the show I said I don't advocate violence towards kids. Now I'm saying knock the motherfucker out. Look at that. Pimp slap the kid.
Honestly, I was just like, what the there was no emotion in this film for me. I just felt like this is when you will look at it and go, yeah, this is where I was a bit let down because I was like, this is where I thought, like, if it's not a video game movie, I will give you a chance. And I was like, this just sucks. There was nothing in it. There was no value. Stepping up to be a hero was just at the weirdest times. And he's also got this thing where, as you said, he's got this gore fest, which happens, but at the same time, he can't instigate violence or fights. It's the weirdest, do you know what I mean?
It just kind of happens.
Yeah, it's really gory, but at the same time, fuck all has happened. Like, it's not like, oh, you don't want to fuck with this war hero.
AJ, my 2 favorite words. Say it.
Oh, cocaine bubblegum.
Oh, cocaine bubblegum. When you have like things happening with no substance on screen, what do I call it? Visual.
Oh, visual noise.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, the absolute visual noise. The absolute visual noise, and it's so bad. It is so bad. Like this, literally. Where the other films you could be like, it's got a good premise. This didn't even have a good premise. It was just boring.
Nope.
It's like,
So boring.
Yeah,
so boring. This would have been higher up my list were it not for another movie which is so unforgivably fucking boring. It was higher, but we'll get to it.
Cool.
So that was your 6, my 7. So my 6, I'm actually going to make a stand and not talk about this movie until you have. But it was the punt from earlier. We don't need to drink again because it was the punt. Auschwitz.
So here's the thing.
Oh, fuck, sorry.
Here's the thing, and I'm sure you will be able to shit on it a lot more than I can defend it, and I'm not open to it. When I first saw it, it opens up with him talking about how the children of Germany are unfamiliar with their history. And when you look back at it, it's not that far. However, I believe he dragged too much in that documentary of asking the kids all these questions and showing it. It just felt weird. It felt like, okay, we've got the point. They don't know. Let's get on with your story now. But he kept going. He kept going. And maybe it was to hit of how unfamiliar they are with the situation. But it was like, all right, we are slightly older than these kids. But I would, again, it's reality. They weren't familiar of, and again, being German, you probably don't want to highlight too much of where you were the absolute villain of the world. I get it. So it was that. And then he goes into showing the whole gas chamber element. Now, I'm not going to lie, this film ranks very high on, I kept falling asleep and I'll wake up and I would be like, okay, we're getting somewhere. But I felt he was trying to show what really happened. I know he wanted to highlight the pianist. He wanted to highlight Schindler's List. And he's like, I'm going to be more hard hitting than those films, right? And he wasn't. It wasn't, but I felt like I can see what you're trying to do. So I felt like the delivery was not great, but I felt like he was tackling it. He wasn't trying to be too extroverted. He was just trying to deliver the story as best as he could.
Really? Is that how you feel?
I felt that way, but when I said that this was the one film I said I want to rewatch, but I felt like it had substance, but I could be completely wrong.
So for me, everything that Darfur did correctly, this movie tried and failed to do. This movie, for me, this is just how I feel. It felt like Uwe's excuse to do some gratuitous violence. Like that scene where they shoot the kid in the head. Didn't need to show that. That was nothing for me except an attempt at self-fellatio. That was Uwe Boll being violent for the sake of violent. And I think he's masking it by trying to present this as some sort of pseudo-documentary. I think you may disagree with me here. I think when you're a national of the travesty that you're trying to portray, the onus is even more on you to show a subtlety and a nuance with the subject matter, which he does not have in any of his films. Uwe Boll should not be allowed anywhere near the subject matter of Auschwitz because he is a director who lacks sensibilities and subtleties. And for me, it just came off as bordering on snuff. It was a snuff film. It was like, I'm going to find a way that I can do violence, but if someone calls me out on it, I can fall back and say, but this really happened. So it kind of comes back to the point we were making earlier, whereby I can excuse him for some of the violence he showed in Darfur, because, again, I think I may hold a Sudanese filmmaker to a higher standard than I hold him talking about a Sudanese genocide. But a German talking about a German genocide, which impacted, the whole world felt the ramifications of Germany's actions in the 40s. Bro, this is not for you. This is like me dropping the N-bomb. It's like, no, that's not for you, white boy. Don't play with that toy.
I get what you're saying, but is it to say I acknowledge what we've done, and I'm not going to mask it. Hollywood may do, but I'm going to try and be as hard hitting into what this.
But it wasn't hard hitting. It was just violent. Violence does not equal hard hitting.
Yeah.
Here's hard hitting. That scene in Schindler's List where Ralph Fiennes' character wakes up after having raped a woman, and for his early morning pleasure, some people smoke a cigarette, some people have a wank, some people just have breakfast. This motherfucker wakes up and starts taking pot shots at the Jews. That's so much more powerful than anything Uwe did. That scene in Schindler's List where they've got all the workers lined up, and Oskar Schindler, he's trying to make sure that the disabled and the handicapped are protected. So he's got them on the workforce pay slip, right? But then when it actually comes to doing hard labor, and the guy without the arm can't actually do anything, and the Germans take him around the corner and shoot him in the head. It's all off screen.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Seeing a kid being bulleted at point blank range. That's what I mean by lack of sensibility.
Yeah.
There's countless great movies about Auschwitz and great documentaries about Auschwitz which do show the horror of it.
See, that's the other thing. I've not seen a lot. So if you've seen a few and you can compare, you will. I suppose you can be like,
bro. Like,
I'm not saying it's the only reason, but I felt something that said to me, "You're trying here. You're not just going down stupid."
Yeah, you're trying to be violent. That it really got under my skin. That movie. I was like, nope, fuck you, fuck
Fair
you
play.
hard.
Fair play.
That was my 6. You're 5. Oh shit, drink time, isn't
it? Sorry, excuse me, blurry vision. This was the first one because I remember Big Tone saying it's a shit movie and it's going to be the worst. It actually wasn't the worst that I'd seen from Uwe, but it's the first of the video games.
Brother, pun.
Really?
Yeah, fuck yeah. We can drink, but that shit's a pun. I think that's getting a pass for you because it's got some vampirism in it, and you love a bit of vampire.
No, I just thought the others were shit. I actually thought the others were worse. That's why. When I bring the rain in the next ones, yeah.
You've drunk already, yes?
I did.
Chat confirm. I didn't see it.
Rewind it and check it later, bro.
As a pump. My 5, don't worry, we don't need to drink because it was the punt from earlier. I thought this was dog shit. In the Name of the King.
It's on those, it's cheap, it's crap, but I feel like it had potential. I feel like...
Bro, this is like if Tommy Wiseau made Lord of the Rings.
I had a poorer man's version. But the thing is, I watch stuff like Once Upon a Time, and I don't want to shit on Once Upon a Time. right? But I feel like it's got the element of fantasy I can work with, and it's got these little tropes that you know you can fall into. It felt like a cheap man's Princess Bride or something like that, you know?
Yeah, Princess Bride, Stardust, Lord of the Rings, all of the above.
Yeah, it's a fantasy movie that I feel I could prescribe to. You know,
no,
no. Like honestly, I looked at it and I was like, if only you'd done a few other bits, I would enjoy it. Like, you know, when I talked about those mad Nollywood and Bollywood movies, there was some stuff that Jason Statham was doing in here, and I was like, fuck it out, you did not just put that on screen, did you? You know, this was the weird shit.
This is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, Jason can whoop ass. We know that. Like the sword fighting scenes where Jason's doing his thing, sure, it's entertaining because Jason is good at that shit. And it doesn't matter how bad you're directing, a martial artist doing martial artist stuff, it's going to translate well to screen. But fuck me, everything around it. What was his name, AJ?
Farmer. That was ridiculous.
What did he do?
Yeah, he was a farmer. And like,
oh my God!
What? Like something about Dad's name, and he's like, well, you're a farmer.
Oh my God! Like, are you joking?
You're
a farmer called Farmer?
Yeah, but do you remember? It was the whole thing is your father believes that people should be known by their profession for what they like. People should be known by what they do as opposed to anything else. What I don't want to do
Nico believes this is bad script writing and you should suck a furry beanbag.
What did get to me, right? And I don't want to do spoilers, but was he knew how to control a horse. I'm not going to say any more, but I was like, you're fucking about.
You are fucking
Do you know what I mean? I can't go anymore because I don't want to
This
get
is what I'm saying. It's a beta Lord of the Rings. It's like, man fucking saw the Two Towers and saw Aragorn talking to Brago. I'm not near Brago. And then was like, yeah, cool, I'll put that in my movie. Like, no, don't you besmirch the work of Tolkien and Peter Jackson. Leave that shit. But can we talk about the cast in this movie? Because it is quite something.
Ray Liotta, Jason Statham. Billy Zane's in this one as well, right?
Didn't catch Billy. Burt Reynolds is in this.
Burt
I was like,
Reynolds, yeah.
what? How the fuck did you get Burt Reynolds? Like,
and who played the nephew?
Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
Fucking Shaggy's in this shit. He went full Shaggy in this, didn't he? Like, he was one Zoiks short away of Zoiks.
He was also the most cheap version of Reek from fucking
so much
Game of Thrones. It was like you're this little weak prick, and I was just like, I can see it, but you're not developing it as much. I was just like, oh. And this is the thing. It's like you could have.
Christina Loken was in this again. But fucking Claire Forlani.
I was going to say Claire Forlani. That's exactly.
Meet Joe Black. What the fuck? John Rhys Davies was in this shit. He of Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones fame. I'm like, what are you doing in this movie, John Rhys Davies? Bro, even Lily Sobieski was in this. And I was like, now, I know she hasn't done much since Jungle to Jungle and Deep Impact. But still. You are a name.
But what I did think was just wrong.
I was like, stop it.
Yeah, the cast in this was nuts. What I didn't enjoy, and it's right at the beginning, guys, was Lily Sobieski and freaking Rayleigh. I was like, no, not in any world am I led to believe that that's who her interest was. You know, I was just like, stop it. But that's what I first thought I was. But the more the film progressed, the more I was like, again, fantasy is more deep for you. But I was just like, it's not working. But it could have been something. Now, it's obviously going to piss you off a lot more because you've seen some serious fantasy movies. Lord of the Rings is your jam. This is going to shit on it. Like, tenfold. The same way I could appreciate Warcraft being a less better version. I was like...
But that's it. I can appreciate lesser fantasy. I've always said that fantasy is now a doomed genre because whenever someone pitches a fantasy movie from here on out, the question will be from... Doesn't matter if it's being made in Hollywood, Pinewood, New Zealand, wherever. The question will be, is it Lord of the Rings? That bar is so fucking high that as a fan of fantasy, you almost have to accept nothing is Lord of the Rings. Nothing ever will be Lord of the Rings because it's not doable to be done again. You accept lesser fantasy. It's kind of like the way I treat horror in reverse. I expect elevated higher horror to really entertain me. Fantasy, look, man, give me boobies and dragons and I'm happy. Game of Thrones is good.
So to answer a few questions, Gavin, are we treating this as a party? Do you know what? it's the same drink, and I think most drunk Rushmores have been a lot worse than this, to be honest. I think we've been quite tame this year. And Billy Mount. Did we know that there are sequels to this movie? Yes.
Two, yes.
I'm somewhat intrigued. It's the energy to finish the films off. That's the problem. Even by the end of this one, I was like, really? But I'm aware that there's a 2 and 3.
I don't get how you can be a movie completionist and not be a platinum trophy whore like me in PlayStation.
I don't have the time.
By the way, have you seen Daddy Goo's doing all right?
Well, congratulations, bro.
135 subscribers, brother. A few thousand views on each video. By the way, down below, right here. Yes. If you're not subscribed already, Daddy Goo on YouTube. Check me out. Francis Lalonde. Oh, hi, Frodo. Nate McDermott. I love this. You're tearing me apart, Galadriel. Right now, in the comments, I will do an additional shot for the person who gives me the best crossover word between The Room and Lord of the Rings. Go. You don't need to do the extra shot, AJ. I will do the extra shot. Fuck your Saruman. It's quite good. You can do better than that. Nico and AJ, did you know the sequels? Yes. Whatever happened to Claire Forlani? This movie happened to Claire Forlani. Tunnels and trolls and boobies and dragons. Oh my. I'm sorry, Billy Matt. I know you've asked this question a few times. Will you guys do a Rushmore on Mel Gibson movies, both acted in? I'm happy to do that. It won't be next week.
No, it'll take a while. But
I love Mel Gibson. So I know it's not popular to say that, but you guys tune into this podcast, I hope, for our honest opinions. And listen, I don't mind getting cancelled if by getting cancelled, it makes me say I like Mel Gibson movies. I like Mel Gibson movies.
If I, who despises, what's his name? Kevin Spacey, can acknowledge him in LA Confidential. Yeah, that's very close, because I nearly asked about a cave troll sex life, so well played, Billy.
By the way, Gandalf, how is your sex life? That's really good.
That's the shot. I don't even know if
that's really good.
Take the shot, bro.
By the way, Gandalf, how is your sex life? That's really good. I'll take a shot for that. That's really funny. I think this is a Twitter game. Do a best crossover line between The Room and this has to be a good Twitter feed, surely. I'm going to tweet this. This is good. This is fun. This is like one of those replace one word in a movie title with queef. It's like one of those games.
Yes.
That's very good. Okay, guys, stay tuned to Movie Mount Rushmore on Twitter, because this is going to be a fun few hours.
Cool. So,
fuck.
That was In the Name of the King. I could watch the others, but I don't have the energy.
No, this film is bad. This film is so bad. It's poorly paced. It's predictable. None of the action for once actually happens on screen. It's like, son gets killed off screen. It's like, okay. Surely, like, again, flip-flop and go back between. In Auschwitz, don't show violence to kids. In this, show violence on kids. Like,
just a tad. I get what you're saying. Yeah. Especially as you build that relationship with the kid more than just the odd appearance. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Right. In at number 4, and I did not rewatch this, but it was the first time you recommended me to watch Uwe Boll. I came across this film, and I recall it being the biggest heap of shit I've seen until I saw the other films. House of the Dead.
It's a punt, my friend.
Okay.
It's a punt, my friend. I know what your number 1 is, by the way. It's a movie I refuse to watch.
Something like that.
I know exactly what your number 1 is. Must be. Unless you've discovered some seed of demonic creation that's even worse than that pile of shit. It's a pile of shit. I haven't seen it, but from what I watched in the trailer, I was like, nah, not going down that.
We'll see. You might be right.
Fate boom boom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Absolute shit. Absolutely. Anyway,
Look like it. Right, so that was a punt. My 4. I can't remember the last time I saw a film this boring, AJ. Even Suddenly was better than this. Far Cry.
oh no. That's a punt. That
My
is
man.
a punt.
My man.
That is a punt.
Oh, Jesus.
Bro, when I
You
hit
need
the
to drink.
bars,
Got a drink.
yeah, I'm willing to say I might even shot again at number 2 for how bad I hated this film.
Wait, what? Have you left my 1 off? No, it's got to be coming up now. Oh, fuck.
Right, so that was where
That
are we
was
now?
my 4, so you're 3. This has to be a punt, unless you've left this movie off. Yeah, punt. Alone in the dark.
Oh,
Oh my word!
The
Shut
shots
that
keep on
shit.
coming.
Oh my word! Ugh. Yeah, but now we get a nice break. Oh, right. I actually need some limoncello to calm down my gin. Ugh. Here we go.
Bro, I really, really wish I had another drink. That stuff is deadly without a chaser. Call me weak if you want. Fuck me, that's right.
Nah, no weak, mate.
Right. So that was my number 3. Your number 3?
Till Schweiger does deserve better, Billy Mount. I agree.
Yeah.
Francis Lalonde says, face turquoise drinking coffee. Face turquoise. Am I stuck in a Donald Trump time lap here? Bro, my 3 was the punt from blah, 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 blah. Use your words.
My number
Nico.
5.
I believe so. House of the Dead.
Oh, that one. Okay, my number 4. Yeah.
Fucking hell, bro.
This was bad. This was bad.
Hi,
This is what
AJ. Do you want to watch a zombie movie?
Do you know what? Den the Tech has gone on record to say he can't watch The Last of Us because of his fear of zombies. I believe he could watch this film and be perfectly fine. What a livid heap of shit.
You mean a dead heap of shit?
Yeah, exactly. Well played. Well played. Now, honestly, I remember we were talking, I think it was our video game movies, and I had said Mario was the worst or something. I can't remember, but we talked about how bad Mario was, and you were like, but you need to see this. And this is how I got introduced to Uwe. Oh, good Lord, I have never seen something.
Oh, good Lord. Now, this doesn't make sense. The actual characters do not make sense in this film. It's like, why are you scared of the zombies one moment, and then you're going full on John Rambo on them? It's like, it's some Scooby-Doo shit. Like Benny Hill, ring-a-ding-ding-ding-ding-ding, running away, and then gun. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. This film was terrible. And the part that I feel like someone must have asked for their money back, or said like in the re-edit, please remove our logo. This is probably what cancelled Sega. The fact that their logo was all over this film, and it's the biggest heap of shit I had.
And you know the transitions they do? Did you notice that the transitions are actually overlays from the actual House of the Dead game? You know, the old light gun game where you're shooting in the arcade. He's overlaid that. Why would you use something moving as a transition, you fucking dummy? Like, I'm sorry. I know that's partly the editor's fault, but he's
as
the
a
director.
director, you have the final say on
Oversees
what you're
this
doing.
shit. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
was it some fucking editor out of film school who went, oh, House of the Dead, you know what will be really cool if we put something from House of the Dead in it? In principle, yes, you're correct. You know, reach for your subject matter, because stupid geek boys, I invite you all to look at Marvel if you doubt what I'm going to say right now. Stupid geek boys get really, really horny when you say a word or show a thing or make an action. Ah, he did a Hulk smash. Ah, he said assemble. Ah, he did the thing.
Wakanda. He said Wakanda.
He said Wakanda. He did the thing. He said the thing. He made the thing do the thing. Like, geek boys get stupid over IP shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, And I said, do you know what would have been? Just fucking thought of this in a drunk stupor. Do you know what could have been a really fun idea? You know when they're getting all the guns out? If they found one of the light guns from the arcade and gone, well, this isn't going to help, and thrown it away.
Yeah, something
Nice
like that.
touch.
Or use the overlay to go on a rampage at the end, kind of like they did in Doom. You know where like Doom became Doom?
Yeah.
Give me that kind of toy to work with.
You know, but this is two fucking pundits thinking in a drunk state, and we're able to come up with, not to suck my own dick too hard, but we're able to come up with better shit than this.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Ended up on this desert party island, going into this house.
Fuck off with that.
And
it just happens to be that on this island there are zombies. Fuck off.
That film. And it was Booger from Revenge of the Nerds in this as well. Right? Was he in it? Yeah. And again, Tara Reid, poor Tara. This is the first time I looked at a film and went, poor Tara.
Bro, so bad. And Billy Mount, you are 100% right. Resident Evil 1 is a better film than House of the Dead by a country. Bro, Resident Evil 1 is the Citizen Kane of zombie movies compared to fucking House of the Dead. Are you out of your mind?
It makes me appreciate Silent Hill a lot more as well, and that film wound me up as well.
Do you know what? I'm a weird defender of Silent Hill. I recognize the movie to be bad, but
it had some good points.
I thought this isn't something I pick on often. The art direction in it was stellar. I thought the way they got the atmosphere and feel of the game into the movie, I was looking at it going, I mean, if this had a story and characters and things I could link to, which is what's required as an audience member, you got me with the art direction.
Yeah.
Bro, they put Pyramid Head in there. See, Geek Boy. He did the thing. They put the thing. They did the thing.
Yeah.
Fucking Pyramid Head's in there.
Yeah, this film, oh God.
This film is so bad. It is so bad. Do you know the scene that killed me, which actually made me lol and made me say, it's time to grab the bong? It was when one of them kills the zombie and goes, fuck you, zombie. And then literally in the same scene, without the camera cutting away, the same character goes, I wonder what that was. You just said it! It's a fucking zombie!
This also falls very much under the Channel 5 territory because it's random booby for no reason. Like, it's just
so random.
Yeah, like there's no reason behind any of it.
Such random boobage.
Yeah. Oh God, it was bad.
But there's worse.
Of course.
Hey Jay, you're number 2.
Right, my number 2 was the punch from earlier.
Oh, good, we're not drinking. Oh wow, this high.
Fuck, bro, it was nearly number 1. If I hadn't downloaded the other film,
so boring,
bro. It was that. It was the. How can I say it? It starts off where you're like, okay, you're trying to be gory. You don't have the budget. I get where you're going. Then you've got the fisherman who was the XYZ, and it's it's the way he tries to torture. It's really bad that The Rock and Emily Blunt were able to be the more con man type thing. When he tries to play like he doesn't care with the couple on the boat. Okay, you take the wheel. I'll be drinking now.
AJ, my favorite line in the movie. But you promised me whales.
Huh? But you wanted Wells. No, I didn't want Wells. You bought a book about it. Guys,
why are we fucking doing this on screen time? Move on.
So this guy now ends up being the guy like your Brendan Fraser's in The Mummy, like your Rock in Jungle Cruise. You've got the reluctant sailor who takes the damsel, who should, the difficult hard-nosed woman who wants to go down a road she shouldn't go down, and all of this stuff. And what bugged me, and I swear again, guys,
are you saying Far Cry is like Apocalypse Now?
Right. It's when they both got wet and they end up in the cabin, and they've gone from.
Are you saying wet like a white person or wet like a black person?
What do you mean wet, bro? Wet as in they got wet by water.
Okay, like a white person. Okay.
What do black people say wet like?
Kill.
Oh, wet. Oh, that kind of wet. Oh, you're talking hood wet. Oh, you talking like I'm a wet. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. That one. All right. I didn't even know you knew that. Not me. You've been on that part of the Jubilee line for too long, B. If you know that. Right. Okay. Yeah.
No, I think the first time someone said that to me. Okay, can I tell you a really funny story?
Go.
You know how, because of my background, I don't get shook that easily if someone steps up to me.
Yeah.
But you know, I still sound like a posh cunt, right? Right. So I'm talking with, I can't even remember who I was with. And this Ute comes up to me. I told you it was funny. All right, come, yeah. This Ute, yeah. Man, come up to me like, and I'm not gonna do that. Fuck that. No, he came up to me, and he did a KMT on me, and he said something in the vein of, "You got peas, bruv." And because I've watched Top Boy, I turned around on him thinking I was Billy Big Bollocks and went, "Bare peas, bruv." And he said something in the vein of, I didn't know what wet meant at the time. This very important fact. I had no fucking clue. I went and asked someone afterwards. I was like, oh, okay. And he said, is there a slang for hand them over?
With alcohol, I can't, but like bring it, come or something along that line. Like I can't fit like.
It started with come. It was like come, dust them over or drop them. It was something in the
run it then. Or so, run it would have been maybe I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah, run me them peas then, bro. Like that, yeah.
Perfect. That was it. Come, run me them peas then, bruv. And I looked at him because I didn't know what he was saying. I went, huh? And he went, bruv, you'll get fucking wet, innit? And I looked at him and went, I'll get wet? I don't think
He's
so.
off for the golden shower, yeah?
Bro, I was like, it's not raining, bro. What the fuck? And you know what? The fucked up thing is, I actually think he was trying to be threatening, but I made him laugh by saying, I'll get wet? And he went, he said something of, rah, I didn't know who I was talking to, you know. I think it was either you or Big Tone I went to talk to after. I was like, what does that mean? He's like, oh, you'll get killed. I'm like, oh, it didn't come across as threatening. That's one where I think Hoodlingo and Ebonics went a bit left field. It's like, you'll get wet. It's like, are you threatening to pee or come on me? Neither is acceptable. I just want to know how freaky you are.
It's to do with the stabbing and the blood pouring out. That's why you're gonna get wetted, essentially. Like that's the
right. No, I get it, but saying someone's going to get wet, like I've said to women, you'll get wet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like to me, it's a horny thing.
I know. Yeah, I agree. I can. Yeah.
But I must have said it in such like posh ass cunt Queen's English, like. You'll get wet.
That man said, "Did it? It's not even worth the peas."
He literally said that. He literally was like, I didn't know I was talking to. Nah, come, this. Like, he was full on like, fuck that, I'm out of here. I think he was so embarrassed that White Boy had turned Hoodlingo into something so fucked up. He was like, nah.
That's not worth it. I don't even have the energy anymore.
I'm embarrassed for these peas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't even spend it ethically.
like the Queen's fucking nephew got wet over this.
You might fall like dead. It's not worth it. They will find me if I wet this guy.
This two Queen. Like,
yeah. The half like, nah, trust me. It's not worth it. But yeah,
I really, really wonder what a conversation with this homeboys would have been like. There was this dead honky, bruv. I swear, man. Like,
blood, trust me, yeah. Man was getting ready to wet him, blood. He was gonna get chefed. Then he said, wet. And I thought, nah, blood. Nah, trust me, blood. Bruv, he's 5-0. I swear down. He's boyed him. He's boyed him.
He's
Let him
5-0.
know blood. He's boyed him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Peas, Gavin, means peas, papers, money.
Yeah, P. Yeah, just the letter P, capital P, lower S, P's, your money.
Peas.
But yeah, going back to this, they get soaked, wet, what have you, and it was the most obvious and desperate way a man could ever do it. First of all, it's the don't look at me, don't look. And you can see him, they're both peeking back at each other, and he's sitting there like the military man, like he could cope. And then it's like she's gone under the covers now that she's come out of her clothes, and he's like, oh, I'm kind of shivering here. Do you mind? Do you know what we do in the military? What? And it's two people who hate each other. There was no chemistry whatsoever. We would use body heat, and I swear to you, the guy from The Hangover came into my head because the part I'm not disrespecting the military at all in any means, but when he was like in the military, we would hug each other for body heat. All that came into my head was gay.
Do you know what I thought when I heard of that scene? That fucking scene from Austin Powers 2. Do you know what we do in Russia to stay warm? We play chess. I was like, go on, say chess. I beg you, play chess.
He was like, we use body heat. And then he came up and she's like, you mean body heat? Like spooning? Well, I guess you could say so. Okay, come in. And then it goes from a hug to instant makeout, followed by the worst line ever. Whoever thought this was the perfect follow-up is the biggest waste ever. My game, I will say it now. Like, as I said, people humoured me that I could have been the 40-year-old virgin. I have better game than this on my biggest off day. After he laid the chick, and I did not do this, was, so, what do you rate me? What?
You
was
get me? Who thought this was a good idea? He keeps it going.
What the fucking score was. And it was like, you're a 2. I'm a 2? And then they randomly hijack someone, and I'm not going to spoil it. It's like, still a 2, huh? I was like, fuck right off. Fuck this film to infinity and beyond. Honestly, if I hadn't seen my number 1, I swear to you, this had locked itself, sealed itself as number 1, worst. And I've never played Far Cry, but I looked at this, and then the zombies that they've converted and all sorts. I was like, this is the biggest pile of shit ever. Honestly, so, I would give The Room an Oscar based on Far Cry.
Oh, 100%, 100%. But I'll say this. I've defended The Room repeatedly, bro. To quote J.J. Abrams, tell me another movie that people have kept talking about so regularly for the last 20 years. Tommy Wiseau made money from that motherfucker, and it became part of popular zeitgeist. This will not.
No.
Bro, do you know what frustrates me with have you ever played a Far Cry game?
No.
Okay, so first off, they're really fucking good. What Far Cry games are famous for is having larger than life villains that you need to take down. Villains like Vaz from Far Cry 3, legendary gaming character. Villains like Pagan Min from Far Cry 4, like this white oppressor who's taken over this part of India. Like the fucking Giancarlo Esposito was the villain in Far Cry 6.
The cover of one of the games,
yeah, and he was a cool ass villain, Anton Castillo. You know, like really cool. Far Cry is synonymous with having these amazing characters in them and having amazing guns. Like, you have a gun in Far Cry 6 called the Discos Locos, which is a guerrilla handmade CD launcher. This is some Ratchet and Clank shit, bruv.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and what do we get in this? A pistol, a super soldier, and stealth, which means hide under a tablecloth in a military base. I'm like, I'm sorry, are you taking the piss here? You have got such a rich world to borrow from, and you do this? But you promised me whales. Suck my dick.
It was so ridiculous. There was just no lines that had any value in them.
None.
I just like, what am I watching? What am I watching? Does Far Cry have dinosaurs in it? Or is that something else?
No, Far Cry does not have dinosaurs.
I don't know what game I'm thinking of that's got...
Ark Survival.
Okay. Yeah. But oh God. It was terrible. Oh, I literally thought nothing.
Francis Long knows. Peas out. Number one. 1/10, bro. 1/10. That means 1G, by the way, for all of you non-drug people. 1/10.
But yeah, oh God, it was terrible. I honestly thought it was going to be the worst film I've seen until I saw something else.
My number 2. This bad. This really bad, but it was the punt from earlier. Blood Rain. Good fucking God. This fucking film.
It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Did someone hand Uwe Boll a drone and he got really carried away? Because I swear every third shot is a drone shot following a horse for a long time. Like,
everything was
what
just
are we
weird
doing?
about this film. Nothing made sense.
Nothing makes sense. I still couldn't explain to you what this film is about. We need to get the things to stop the vampire takeover. How does the vampire takeover happen? Don't worry about it.
It's like you've got Vampire Supreme, who's not Dracula, which is fine. You've got Meatloaf, who's some vampire who owns a pimp house.
Meatloaf made me laugh.
Yeah, that was weird. And then basically the vampire who was Supreme Vampire, you know, basically Apocalypse of Vampires has been dismembered.
La Malgra.
Yeah, so she's the daughter of head honcho vampire now.
Yeah.
So we have to stop Daddy from getting these items. So what I'll do is I will touch them, and as I touch them, they now become part of my body. So I'm now becoming Vampire Ultra, but I'm going to be Vampire Ultra to use it for the benefit of good. And in between that, somehow or another, sorry for the spoiler, mixed memorabilia, like mute now for all of 5 seconds if you wish. I'm still not sure how Michelle Rodriguez's heel turn took place. Like, she was there. The next minute they're scrapping, and then that was it.
She did. She did.
Yeah, and again, not at the hands of a villain. It was weird.
Just weird.
It was
so
weird.
weird.
I just
didn't
get it.
So here's actually the game. The movie is quite accurate to the game in the sense that the movie is fucking terrible because the game was also fucking awful.
Okay.
Awful. Like, I like a vampire game, like Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Blood Omen. I love that shit. Fun games. Blood Omen 2, if you know, you know. Blood Rain was terrible, bro. But there was one or two things that were cool in Blood Rain in the sense that you had the dual swords, which, again, he's doing the basic gaming IP stuff. She had the thing in the game. Put the thing in the movie. She had the sword. Put the sword. I don't know why Uwe Boll is now Chinese. I'm sorry. She had the swords in the game. So if we put the swords in the movie, yeah? And then they have this thing in the game called Blood Rage. So, like, when you get really juiced up, you go into, like, a frenzy. Within the first 20 minutes, they've put the Blood Rage in the movie. So I was like, fair enough. You've put the thing in the thing. And one of the animations that of Blood Rage is she kind of jumps on you from behind, wraps her legs around you like Xenia on the top, grabs you and and munches you. They put that in the movie too, to their credit. I was like, I don't believe there are a lot of Blood Rain the game fans out there because it's really not a good game. But for those that are fans, hey, the shit ended up in the shit. The thing was,
but again, you acknowledge it without being a Blood Rain fan, so it's like anyone who's played it will be like, okay, it stays true to its source. You know?
Yeah. It's true to its source as far as some of the things go. The thing and the thing, as I said. The story's nothing to do with the game. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were smoking when they made this. But bro, what did they do with Michael Madsen in this movie? Did you notice that he would only deliver, if this was a song, he would have like 2 lines and then it would cut to another character. Did you notice he could never handle more than 2 lines at a time? And between each line, he would have to pause. They told me that you'd never been here before. Cut to another character. Yes, I heard that. This would be the way forward. Cut to another character. One can only assume that this is the sort of myth. So stop pausing with every line. You're the guy who said you're gonna bark all day, little doggy, or do you bite? What happened to that guy? What the fuck? Yeah. What are you doing? And Ben Kingsley, what was that fight at the end? Like this movie is it's in a fence. It's frustrating because I'll actually go out on a limb and say, in a drunk state, in a fucking in a weird world, the first 20 minutes of this movie, there's something there. There's like an element of intrigue. It's dumb, but it's like acceptable B-movie guilty pleasure type dumb. Then it just goes like, nah, I can't forgive you anymore.
Then there's the random hookup as well to make it a channel fight. It was just
oh my god, what was with the... Okay, can we talk about the hookup? She's known him for 2 seconds, and it's like, boobies.
Yeah, it was just like,
what? Okay, here's some fucking weird creative decision making from Uwe Boll. Like, they are in a fucking dungeon, yeah? They are literally in a dungeon. You could have fucking put her bare ass on an Iron Maiden if you wanted to get freaky deaky. You could have slammed her over the table and done a standing missionary position on her. What do? You choose to back up against the railing, against the fucking gate. She mounts you. How? I don't know, unless my white boy is pretty fly for a white guy, which I doubt. Because she's somehow suspended in midair and her feet are somehow attached to something. How? I don't know. Vampire Spidey woman in the house. But did you notice as they're porking, the gate is going bong, 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 bong. I'm like, why did you make that creative decision so that when they're porking, all you're hearing is... Why? Why do that? What was your thought process?
It was so weird.
Why not just move 2 inches to the left and not have the...
Everything was so fun. And as you said, she barely knew him.
Nice boobies.
They were
the bang.
They were on the same team for a minute. They didn't even have the right chemistry to even be like, oh, there's a potential romance there. Oh. And then it was like, oh, they're fucking. Okay, cool.
It was like that skit from Jimmy Fallon. I'm fucking Matt Damon. It's like, it's literally that. Like, what are we doing, guys? You've known each other all of 2 fucking seconds. Like, I'm getting fucking so sweaty. I'm frustrated by this movie. Like, why are you shagging? Like, I'm fucking Matt Damon. What are we doing?
It was
the worst death scene I have ever seen. Again from Michael Madsen. Literally gets running with a sword.
Yeah. Bro, all of it. I was like, oh, is that the end? Yeah. Yeah.
What was it? Bro. She slashes Ben Kingsley, and what's his response? You ungrateful bitch. I'm like, huh? I think she's pretty happy with her life decisions right now, babe.
Do you know what it is? It's like you wanted to do
God.
Blade and Frost, mix it with a bit of The Bride and Kill Bill, and just have everything wrong from all of those really good blueprints that could tell you how to make that revenge and chasing the villain down. It was just so wrong. Oh God, it was bad.
So bad.
It was bad.
Right, well, our worst is technically our number 1. So I'm getting a shot ready because your worst is different. Your number 1 is different from my number 1. Can I take a guess at what your number 1 is?
Yes, bro. Please.
Blubberella.
Got it in 1.
Vampires again.
And you know me, I'm down with the fanging and banging. So if you're
Michael Paré again, this guy is another one of Uwe Boll's muses.
Oh God, thank God that was the last shot.
Mm,
Yeah, this.
we done.
Okay. This. In this one, Uwe Boll plays Hitler. Blubberella is half vampire, half Nazi. I can't remember. It's set in 1940, but she goes online dating. Her mother is a drag queen who blackfaces. They try to quote lines from Precious. There's a guy called Vag who's homosexual, so there was a bit of gay humor in there as well.
Funny.
There was an actor who says something along the lines of, "I can't deliver this scene." So it's like Uwe Boll knew he was making something that was meant to be a spoof of how bad he's meant to be. You know, and Blubberella's always eating and going into stuff. And like, I found this bit so disgusting. There's a part where she
offensive.
It was mega offensive, but there's a part where she said something about guys only wanted. My best friend told me guys will fuck me over something, or guys won't touch me or something. But then he raped me right after that, and I was like, "This is just. I'm not laughing. There's nothing in there." She's using like a Tinder online dating, and she's following the trains that are taking Jews to Nazi concentration camps. And she's like, "They always kept running away from me." And every angle of this film, there was this part of me that said, when I had stupid humor, would I have enjoyed this? And I was like, there was something that made me want to keep watching, but at the same time, I gave up. I'm not watching this to the end. I've been insulted enough. And I'm talking on the, you're trying to be offensive and funny. It's not working. I'm just getting ticked off with you now. And I was like, this film has cemented itself as possibly the worst thing I have ever laid my eyes on. There was no redeeming qualities to this film. It's all fat jokes, gay jokes, potential black jokes, and the black
Yawn, fucking yawn.
It was legitimately terrible. Yeah. And again, what did bug me, going back to what you said with Auschwitz, is being a German, portraying yourself as Adolf Hitler, make a comedy out of that. I know in the end the Germans are going to get their comeuppance, and I don't know, but there's a part where Blubberella and Hitler are actually friends, and she's saying, you know, you could go around this way, maybe ease up on the ethnic cleansing, that, you know, maybe there are better ways of life. Like, is this really what you want to do? It was all of these bits, and
because it's just a simple heart-to-heart discussion, right?
Yeah, and there were parts that were AJ Vision, and it had Russian subtitles. I didn't have English subtitles, so there's this part where Hitler's just going ham in German, and I don't know what he's saying, and I'm like, I don't know if it adds or didn't add. Like, again, you know, you take Prayer Before Dawn, where you don't get the subtitles, and that gives you attention. This one, you're like, I actually don't even give a fuck unless you're trying to be funny. You know, it felt like a really, 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 really bad version of someone trying to do like a What We Do in the Shadows, you know, spoof type comedy.
I was going to say, it sounds like a shit Taika Waititi, this.
Yeah, it really was that. And I just thought, this isn't working. This isn't working. There are some parts where you could be like, oh, well, no. Yeah.
See, I'm yawning already just from listening to this shit. Not you, to him.
No. It was terrible.
Going back to my number 2 a minute, there was one funny thing I wanted to share with you that I discovered. You've heard of director Paul Thomas Anderson, I assume.
Yeah.
He of There Will Be Blood, Boogie Nights, Licorice Pizza, Punch Drunk Love. You know, top director. Responsible for Phantom Thread. You know, he's got some of the best performances ever out of the best actor ever. And yet, Mr. Paul Thomas Anderson decided to rip off Uwe Boll. Can you believe it? Yeah. Podcast listeners, I apologize. You'll just hear AJ's reaction now. Paul Thomas Anderson well, not him directly, but the marketing team that were responsible for Phantom Thread ripped off Blood Rain. Are
How?
you ready? Are you ready?
Hit me. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is similar.
Talk to me, AJ.
Yeah, Pod Squad, you need to jump on and see how these posters are really true. You would have been intimidated. Fucking hell, that is weird.
How bad is that?
Why would you? Hey, let's create a poster based on a poster of a film that nobody's gonna fucking give a shit about. Maybe they thought artistically they might have thought it was cool, and they're like, no one's watched that fucking film.
There's no hiding from that shit.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's not just like, oh, that's a bit of a reach. No. There's no reach here.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, that's weird. Yeah.
So, Pod Squad, just to fill you in, the design of the poster of Blood Rain is identical to the design of the poster of Phantom Thread, which came many years after. It's at about 1 hour 49 on the video on YouTube. Silver Screen Dudes, wherever you get your videos from. Makes me remember Billy says that's spot on. Francis DeLonde in answer to Blubberella. AJ, it sucked. And Francis Lalonde has a question for you, AJ. But AJ, was it an important movie?
Important to somebody because they got a paycheck, like fucking hell. But also probably the last paycheck they got in terms of acting. Absolute horseshit. Absolute horseshit.
Speaking of paycheck, Mixed Memorabilia says, is it fair to say that a few top actors have worked with Boll? Yeah. Fucking A.
This is what troubles me. And some of them come back.
Furlong, Purcell, Ray Liotta, Michael Paré, like
Madsen.
Madsen, fuck him, like Madsen's a waste man. Madsen's a waste man. Fuck him.
Do you know what I was thinking today when I was getting on the train? Yeah, I'm actually really impressed that two people haven't worked with Uwe Boll. One, I could understand. Eugene Levy, because he just literally filled in every blank of connecting the dots for an American Pie movie. But I'm actually really shocked that Samuel L. Jackson has not done a Uwe Boll movie. Like, honestly, I'm shocked as shit.
I'm sick of these motherfucking zombies on this motherfucking island.
Like, it just feels like it's the ultimate synergy between those two. How has it not happened? But thankfully, even Sam said no.
What you say? Fucking Ray Liotta said yes, bro. Like, come on.
Too many times.
Too many times, right? Oh, bro, which brings me to my number one. One of the worst movies ever made. Like, this could be worse than The Room. This might be worse than The Room. Alone in the Dark.
See, bro, I'm not going to disagree with you in saying how bad it was. And you've got good old Deacon Frost there in the back.
Stephen Dorff, man. I love Stephen Dorff. Why does he do this?
And this is the only... No, I don't want to do it because Mixed Memory is listening. But it's the only time that you've led me down a rabbit hole that didn't turn up. And I was like, oh, well, that meant nothing. You know? You know what I mean, don't you? Like, the way the relationship between Dorff and the main and Christian Slater builds, you're like, ooh, tension. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm not...
Yeah,
you know what's frustrating? The game's really good. Like, you know how when I think it was Dumbo, Pinocchio, and I think it wasn't Snow White, was it The Little Mermaid? It might have been The Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid, we'll go with Little Mermaid. I'm probably wrong on this. But I know that Dumbo, Pinocchio, and there was another one, all kind of released at the same time. And Dumbo was considered like the runt of the litter. Snow White, I feel, was earlier than that. Snow White's 30s.
I know, but wasn't that...
Fact check me on that. I'm pretty sure Snow White feels too... It could have been Snow White. Snow White, Pinocchio, and Dumbo, did they all come out at a similar time? Anyway, irrespective of what the third movie was, Dumbo was always considered kind of the runt of the litter, but Dumbo's still good. You agree?
Yes. So hold on, we've got Snow White, Pinocchio,
year?
Fantasia, Reluctant Dragon, Dumbo, Bambi.
Okay, it was Bambi.
Okay.
So Pinocchio, Dumbo, Bambi. Those three movies came out at a similar time. And I would argue that between those three movies, Dumbo, I would agree, is the runt of the litter. But that runt is still a powerful little runt.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Alone in the Dark, the game is similar. Yes, it came out at a time when fucking Resident Evil and Silent Hill were flexing their big ass muscles. Alone in the Dark was a good fucking game, man. Really good game. I'll actually go out on a limb and say Alone in the Dark 4, The New Nightmare, is one of my favorite horror games. It's a really, really good game. But oh my word, what they did with the movie. This wasn't bad in the sense that it had nothing to do with the game. And let's be clear, it has nothing to do with the game. Like, this is bad in a bare, basic storytelling capacity. It's like Edward is walking down an alley and the camera starts panning as if something's following. He looks up to the left. He looks up to the right. And he just keeps walking to his apartment. The fuck was the point of that then?
It was that, and again, I don't want to get into spoilers, but it's
Edward meets up with Eileen.
Yeah?
She's so happy she hugs him. Then she punches him. What?
It's
bro, it's the things which are in a filmmaker's control that drive me crazy. So oh my god. So the gunshots in this, they made everything super dark because the word dark is in the title. So all the fight scenes in this are really dark. So all the gunshots are meant to light up the room. So what they've had to do is they've had to animate the gunshots. Bro, there is a scene when they're having that gunfight in his apartment. The bullet, which they animated. This isn't a bullet which they've captured. They have animated this bullet. They have complete God-level Roman Reigns control over the trajectory of the bullet, because the bullet is not real. The bullet has been created in a computer. Okay? What does the bullet do on screen? This is in the movie. The bullet goes up, completely missing the person that it's meant to hit. But the person who it's meant to hit still goes, ah! Like, I saw the bullet come above your head. What are you doing? The scene where they go to the underground. Do you remember this scene where they all go like underground into the freaky deaky place where the stuff is growing? And they go, maybe splitting up's not a good idea. You think? Like, and then there's the scene where the girl in the underground, she dies. This is in the movie. They left this in the movie. I don't know why, because I maintain Uwe Boll is a fucking troll. The girl has just been killed, and they cut to the next shot, which is like Edward Carnby, Christian Slater, and all of them walking away, and you see the girl on the floor literally go, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? That's when you call reshoot, motherfucker. You're a director. You say cut. Keep playing dead.
Do you know the part that bugs me? Again, the random.
Sorry, for Pod Squad, that was the girl playing dead, tilts her head up, and then realizes that, oh shit, they're still rolling, and puts her head back down. Are you kidding me?
It was that. It was the random hookup between Christian Slater and Tara Reid.
Oh my god, that was as bad as The Room.
She walks in, touches the scars on his back, and then they hook up, and I was like, oh, are you going to go down the Channel 5 route? No. You couldn't pay Tara enough for that. So it was just this random hookup, and it was that. But the part that bugged me, and this is one that you're going to talk about, like directors' creativity, right? And it was something I couldn't unsee. You know, when you've got these zombie apocalypse or whatever form of apocalypse, and they're like, the town has evacuated. Now, people will leave their town because there are so many cars, you've got no choice but to open your car door and run down the road. Yeah. This one is this middle of a town. The roads are completely empty, but to give it the effect of it was more of a Thanos snap than everyone's evacuated. You've just got two cars, nowhere near each other, no other car with congestion, and the doors are open. And it's like, so you wanted to escape, and you thought, well, I'll just get out of my car and run. Why? And I just kept looking at it. I was like, that scene sucks. There was you needed some kind of a bottleneck to be like, this is why cars are abandoned. It was his way of describing abandoned without showing abandoned. It was like,
oh, but there's so much more to that. The fact that the very evil base is under the orphanage where he grew up. Fuck off. Fuck off with that. Oh, bro. Okay, so two more things I'll point out. You talk about the scene at the end where they wake up and the whole city has been evacuated. But when they went into the underground and the city was full, it was night. When they came out, it was day. Are you meaning to tell me they evacuated the entire fucking city in one fucking 6-hour period? Oh, and by the way, they should send a little thank you note with a little heart, strawberries, and chocolate to the fucking evil demons, because that's the cleanest evacuation I have ever seen. And then speaking of the demons in this movie were fucking doing nothing. They may as well have been running around going, Zool, motherfucker, Zool. What are you doing to me?
You're not wrong, though. You are not wrong.
Zool, motherfucker, Zool. This is now Silver Screen Dudes lexicon. This goes in with the penis got me. Zool, motherfucker, Zool. What are you doing? Fuck this film.
It was bad. It was bad.
Zool, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, God. They were bad. They were bad.
Tell me when I'm lying.
Yeah. These ain't jokes.
These ain't jokes. These ain't jokes. Zool, motherfucker. That's going to be a repeat thing, I say. Thank you, Uwe Boll. You gave us Zool, motherfucker, Zool. For whenever a villain does some dumb fuckery from here on out, Zool, motherfucker. Fucking Zool! Jesus! Fuck this guy! Ah.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, guys. Okay. I don't know how the votes are going to work this on Twitter, because I honestly don't know.
The worst Uwe Boll movies.
Yeah, but who has put themselves through more than 4?
We're going to have an all-time low amount of votes.
Yeah. Right.
Why? Because it's in the script. Fuck you.
I believe that as well. I believe that. There was another one Francis put up.
Uwe Boll and Michael Bay and Tommy Wiseau should do a collab. Yeah, I just put Michael Bay in those guys. I did it.
Right. Okay. Right.
Oh, God. And it's bad. I'd like to bring everyone's attention right back to my number 10, Darfur. Please, if you have time, check out that movie. It's actually okay. Alone in the Dark. Also check out to see how bad, how the fuck did we go from Darfur to Blubberetta and Alone in the Dark? Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
Please don't forget Far Cry. Far Cry is sinful. Mixed Vulnerability says, interesting show, a bit like a film in itself. I genuinely say this show might be the art tribute for Boll. Didn't expect it, but good show, and I need to get the name of those films, those 2 earlier films. So
putting
Darfur
him in the
for
commentary
sure.
now, Mixed Memorabilia. Darfur. There you go, brother.
What was the other? Yeah, Assault on Wall.
Assault on Wall
Assault on Wall Street is for free. It's on Prime, which
Darfur's for
is-
free too. It's on Prime.
yeah. It's on Prime.
It's on Prime.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And if you want to give Auschwitz a shot, Mixer and Brilliant, I'd be interested to see which way you go in it. But yeah, listen, just do what we done. Type in Uwe Boll.
Yeah,
and
you
see
know
what-
what, Francis Leon? Actually, yeah, fucking Alone in the Dark is a super important movie. And you know, if I hadn't done things like dodgy German, like tax breaks to make the money for this movie, I would have turned to Kickstarter, which I was later shitting on. Yeah,
But again,
fucking guy.
it's weird that he was able to get to nearly Rampage 3. I feel too.
No,
one,
Rampage 3 is a thing.
I know.
He did it.
Oh, he done it. Okay,
He did it. He did it.
I don't know. Rampage, like I would have stopped at 1 because it some stuff are just better off left unsaid. But hey. Anyway, I digress.
I legitimately don't know how we went from a place of saying, do you know what? This guy surprised me. We're grading on a curve, but he's got some sensibilities for 1 or 2 movies, and we've ended up at Blubberella and Alone in the Dark and Far Cry. All 3 of which I think we agree are going on the Rushmore, yes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Blubberella. I think Blood Rain needs to go on there too. I can't think of anything worse, really.
Ooh.
Those are the 4, surely.
Blood Rain over. What's the island one?
House of the Dead. I mean, that's fucking god awful, but yeah, I think Blood Rain's worse.
I'm partially with you. I'm just looking. I mean, suddenly, which was absolutely fuck all.
Francis Lawrence says, Alone in the Dark, should I get the director's cut? Fuck yeah, I get the director's cut. Look at the exact edition that Uwe Boll wanted to make and see how bad it still fucking is. So his best 4 makes memorabilia. That's a good question. I would say his best 4 are Darfur, Assault on Wall Street, Rampage.
I like In the Name of the King. I know it's bad, and it needs
fucking bad.
But I mean, it's the kind of shit I can go.
He hasn't, for me, mixed memorability. He hasn't got 4. I can drop 3: Assault on Wall Street, Darfur, and Rampage.
Avoid Suddenly at all costs because you will just be bored.
Avoid Suddenly. It's not good. So boring. Not as boring as Far Cry.
Yeah,
Oh,
again,
God.
it's really challenging. But mixed memorabilia, I would say just type in his name and just see what. Oh yeah, just type in his name on Amazon, and there's a collection there.
He did 2 movies, which I'm actually sad I didn't get to see because they sounded quite good and they were with the same producer who did Darfur. So I was like, could be all right. And those are called the 1968 Tunnel Rats, which is about the Vietnam War, and Heart of America, which
Heart of America was actually on my list, actually. But
Heart of America, I wanted to check out. So there's 1 or 2 Uwe Boll movies which I may still see at some point, with the hope that I get a Darfur or Assault on Wall Street. But let's be very clear: in the scope of the movies that we talk about here on Movie Mount Rushmore, these are not grandiose titles. Far fucking from it. But have we settled on our Rushmore, AJ?
You know, I'm going to go for Blood Rain, and I'll tell you why. Because I think no one's seen Suddenly.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Alone in the other one, the island one, I can't even. House of the Dead, maybe. But I think Blood Rain will probably have more viewers.
I agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official Movie Mount Rushmore of the worst Uwe Boll movies. Fuck you. In no particular order is
Blubberella.
Our second entry is
Alone in the Dark.
Our third entry is
Far Cry.
Our final entry into the worst Uwe Boll movies is
Blood Rain. I mean, we could have left it to viewers' discretion, but I have a strong feeling no one's seen 4.
I think we're not going to get many votes for this one, but fine.
No, clearly not.
What's the topic next week? Oh, it's a goodie. Cool.
It doesn't make any sense. We've been trying to stop something that they've created the whole time. My guys are dying out there for nothing. I'd like to know. I can't think of what that.
Francis Lalonde, what's that quote from?
Commander Richard Burke for fucking nothing. Goddamn.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
AJ, you've seen the spreadsheet that I've sent you, yeah? For next week's release. You cool with that?
Is it the based on
Oscar one? It's the Oscar one.
Yeah. Spoiler. # Justice for Angela.
Justice for Angela and Justice for Maverick.
Fucking hell. Do you know what did hurt me more? I read the thing, and by the way the site I landed on, because you'd said, did anyone watch the Oscars? And I scrolled down and I'm looking to see who's what. And I know there's a lot of stuff I hadn't seen. The Whale, Top Gun, XYZ. And I've seen parts of everything, whatever the fuck the name of that film is. I never get it right, so I'm not going to try it now. And the way they listed everyone, I thought I saw Angela Bassett was the winner. And I was like, yes, go on, Angela. And this is someone who likes Jamie Lee Curtis. I
love Jamie, but listen, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Part of it, not enough of it. Like I've seen her transform.
Her performance doesn't hold a candle to Angela. Never. No,
I just thought it was disrespectful, to be honest. So.
It was. There's some stupidity out there which I don't like. You know how as humans we always like to find reason when something something that's happened hasn't gone the way we wanted. It's like, oh, it's because of X. This is where fandom gets stupid, and where I think as pundits, it's important that we bring some balance, because the soundbite I hear again, oh, it's because the Oscars don't like comic book movies. They nominated her.
Yeah.
This is an Academy which had fucking Heath Ledger winning, which had the Joker taking her was nominated for Best Movie, which had Joaquin Phoenix winning, which had Black Panther 1 being nominated for Best Movie. This is not an Academy that doesn't like comic book movies. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Yeah. I won't hear it.
No, I was just offended. Honestly, I was just offended when I saw the result.
Yeah.
But hey.
Me too. Listen, I don't think Everything Everywhere All at Once should have won. And so to answer the question of what are we doing next week, we are doing the top 10 best picture nominees of the 21st century, excluding winners. Nominees.
Best picture
nominees.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it again, Justice for Angela. So sadly, she isn't going to be my number one. But yeah, I'm going to go through the list and check some stuff out. And yeah.
Spoiler alert. Highway to the danger zone.
So Everything Everywhere was a bit of a confusing film. If you have Big Tone on here, he'll say he loved it. It reminded me of certain time travel films and multiverse movies, but it didn't. Put it this way: intrigued, yes, but I don't want to call it Tenet. It wasn't Tenet territory, but where I stopped, I've not been eager to rush back to it, and that's what bugged me.
Because it's just. The idea is unique, the setting is unique, the cast of characters is unique, the execution leaves a lot to be desired. I think it's too long, and I think it is completely overrated, which doesn't mean it's bad. People always get butthurt when you say something's overrated. Oh, you didn't like it? I didn't say that. I've said how many times did I like Spirited Away, but I still think it's overrated.
Yeah. No, it's fact.
Love the film, but I still think it gets too much hype for what it is. Yeah, Chris Trengove is going to hear this and fucking kill me for saying that. But anyway.
No, but there are some films, again, go back to it, The Godfather. As much as my appreciation has increased for these films, people are The Godfather, don't fuck with the family. Calm down. It's a decent film, but it's not what you're making it out to be. There are some...
Exactly.
That's the territory we're in.
So this should be a fun one next week because we can call it the movie Mount Rushmore official Oscars of the 21st century. We can call it the Rushmies.
There we are. Right, guys. So, if you do know anyone who has an affinity for Uwe Boll movies, tell them to head on over to @MovieMTRushmore, or more importantly, @MoviePolls4You, and they will get to vote for what they might actually believe is the best Uwe Boll films out there. Or they'll just be like, yeah, I agree. Like, I've watched all these films, and these are the worst, and these are whichever ones they are. Once again, our contenders are Anthony, unlock your phone before you do this. Right, Blubberella, Far Cry, Alone in the Dark, and Blood Rain. Yeah, they're all terrible. If you want, you can watch all the films and then come back and vote. We went for it for you guys. You can do it for us. I'm joking. But yeah, but again, just more importantly, we were able to read comments from you guys that said you were actually interested in what this was. So if you want to show people this is how good these guys are, they can turn shit into sugar. Here's the proof. This is how they promoted Uwe Boll movies. We very much appreciate it. So look, tell your friends to tell your friends, tell your people to tell your people, tell 5 people to tell 5 people. That's what it's all about. If you haven't already, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Again, this is a bit cheeky on my side, but I'm going to beg it. If you don't mind, just play the video again and do an actual comment, not a live chat, because that's Instagram. That's what YouTube pays attention to. Appreciated. But either way, you've been here. We appreciate you. We love you. And that's what it's all about. Yes. If you have people who are into the podcast world, am I going to do this now? Do you have it ready on your end by any chance? Yeah. You can tell them we're available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Radio Public, Podcast Republic, Podcast Guru, Player FM, Bullhorn, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Castro, Podbean, Pod Hero, Podcast Hero, Podfriend, Solid FM, and search for Movie Mount Rushmore.
And if you like this type of content, guys, and you want to support us, you can head on over to buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. And for literally less than the price of your daily Starbucks, you can support our show, help us grow, and show your appreciation for us. Link to that is in the description below on podcast and on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please do like the video. Likewise, if you're on podcast, please do give us a listen, give us a thumbs up, give us a share. Let us know down in the comment section what you think your best and your worst Uwe Boll movie is. And yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Yeah, guys.
I guess that kind of, yeah. I don't think there's anything else to add here, is there?
No, that's the one. Look, it's good to see you back, Nico. And yeah, the Silver Screen Dudes will be back next week, guys. So until the next time, I am the one, AJ Anthony Jordan.
I'm Nicolero. Check me out on Daddy Goo on YouTube. Help me grow.
We out. See ya.